I'm going to be talking about things that Americans hate about Germany. If you don't know me, my name is Julia. I was an exchange student in Germany from 2021 to 2022, and I will be going back to Germany this spring semester 2024. Now let's get into the video. The first thing that Americans hate about Germany is that there is no air conditioning. We Americans have a lot of air conditioning and sometimes it can be too cold. It's like sometimes I don't know how to dress here because it's so cold in buildings. It's just so over air conditioned, if that is a word. Like it'll be super hot outside. I'm like, okay, shorts, t-shirt. I step inside, I'm like, oh my god, I need a winter jacket. What is this? So yeah, we have a lot of air conditioning, so it is a big adjustment to go to Germany. The next thing is how blunt and direct Germans can be. This is hard for Americans because I've talked about this before, we tend to be very nice, like overly nice, even when we don't mean it. If you've ever seen Mean Girls, the movie, when Regina George is like, oh my god, I love your, I don't know what it is, bracelet, and then she turns to her friend and she's like, that is the most hideous bracelet I've seen in my life. Like, it's like that. Like, Americans are not direct by nature, and so going to Germany, it can be like, whoa, like they're actually telling me what they think, which I personally find nice, but a lot of Americans have a problem with it. The next thing we have is paying for bathrooms and water. I combined kind of two into one. Public bathrooms and water in the US is generally free. Sometimes if you want like a bottled water, you'll have to pay for that. But if you just want tap water, you can always get it for free. Since we're used to getting these things for free, it's like, oh, like I don't want to pay €2 for of water, I don't want to pay 50 cents to go to the bathroom. Like, it's supposed to be free. Like, that's how we have always lived, is with free water and free bathrooms. Okay, the next thing I have is more of a serious one, but it is definitely worth mentioning, is prejudice against Turkish people. So I made a video about the things that I love about Germany, and one of the things I mentioned is that I lived in Saxony, and people always said that foreigners weren't as welcomed there. And I was like, I haven't really had any problems with it. They've all been really nice to me, taken me in. And someone mentioned in the comments, like, that's probably because you look German, like you're a white person. And I cannot believe I did not realize that before, because I didn't know that when they said foreigners, they meant people who looked different. Like, I thought foreigners would mean foreigners, not like a different ethnicity. As a white person, I didn't experience racism. I mean, I've never experienced racism in my life. But I do notice things, like when I was in Germany, some political points were based off of immigration and specifically Turkish people, because a large percentage of immigrants to Germany are Turks. It kind of reminded me of our debate in the US of immigration regarding the Mexicans, and I don't know if you've ever heard about the like build a wall thing with Trump, but yeah, it has been a major political point in the US, immigration with Mexicans, and yeah, I would say I definitely do not like this about Germany. This is one that I can agree with, because I think that everyone should be treated nicely, like, no matter what. I don't understand why people have so much hate for individuals just because of how they look. So, oh my god, I could like rant all day, but I need to get to the other points. I will gladly make a separate video about more serious things in Germany if you want me to. Just comment down below some topics. I mean, I personally cannot speak on racism as a white person, but yeah, let me know if you'd like me to speak on anything. And then the next one I have is no spices. I personally think that you can find spices in Germany, although it might be more difficult. It's definitely, like, you're definitely able to find spices and make spicy food. But a lot of Americans do not like this because a lot of us like spicy food, me included. So it's a bummer when it's not as available or not as easy to get spicy food. The next thing I have is Sundays. Now, I would say I have conflicting opinions about Sundays. Like, on the one hand, I like how it's a lot more relaxing and we actually get a day off, because in the US it's just constant hustle, go, 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 and it gets really tiring. But on the other hand, I don't like how I can't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I can't go buy something if I want to because everything's closed. I have to wait until the next day. Like, it can get boring. It's definitely a difficult adjustment for Americans because we're so used to everything being open because everyone is working, because it's go, 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 like constant work in the US. So, good and bad, in my opinion. Then the next thing we have is the weather. Oh god. So I personally live in the Midwest region of the United States. And here the weather is just so extreme on both ends. Like, in the summer, right now, it gets really humid. Like, it's hot, but the humidity is just... that's what I hate so much. And in the winter, it's just freezing cold. Like, I had to go to school in -30 wind chill. It was not canceled. They made us go to school. In the 2 minutes that I walked from my car into school, my fingers felt like they were gonna fall off. So that is what I'm used to, and in Germany, I wasn't there in the summer. I was there from August to June. So kind of in the summer, but like not a lot. And I would say that the winter was just, oh my god, I am so used to like snow and like extreme cold, and it wasn't like that. It was a lot warmer, but the thing is, it like did not snow at all. Like, there was like a tiny bit of snow on Christmas Eve, I think, and that was it. But what I hated was that it was rainy and gray, and it's like, at least when there's snow, it's pretty. Like, no, it was just rainy and cold. Like, I would rather have snowy and cold over rainy and cold any day. I don't care if it's colder. Last thing I have is that Germans don't know personal space. I personally didn't have a problem with this. I personally was comfortable with the way that they communicated, and I mean, every person's experience is different in Germany. My region that I lived in is going to be different than other regions, but I still wanted to mention it. So that's everything that I have for this video. I hope it was somewhat interesting. I think it's important to acknowledge that no matter how much I love Germany and I want to go back, there's still flaws. There's flaws to every country, no matter how great you think it is. And it's good to recognize that, so I wanted to talk about it a little bit. And yeah, so, like, subscribe if you want. I always forget to say that. Danke fürs Zuschauen und tschüss!